Hi everybody.
Hi.
So today is an announcement podcast type of thing.
This is really cool news.
This is really cool. So that's what the stuff we've been working on the last few months that I didn't want to talk about because I didn't want to jinx it and because it wasn't officially done. But so you know, like the ATA, so the Adaptive Training Academy, which is I don't know if it's not officially a branch of CrossFit, but the director of it, the head of it, is Alex Zirkenbach, and he's also the guy he's the head of the adaptive division for the CrossFit Games. He's the head of the ATA, but he's the one who created the CrossFit specialty course toward adaptive athletes. And they had in mind to do that for autism. So they want to have an adaptive not division at the games, because that one you cannot have, but they want to create an adaptive division for autism, and they have offered me to run it with my coach Mike. And so
cool.
We're going to run the ATA course for autism. So what does that entail? So first of all, so they have a big summit, I guess, certification type in December. I'm not exactly sure how all this works, so I'm just, don't quote me exactly on the titles and all that stuff. But there'll be a big gathering in December, whether certification or talk or whatever, with a bunch of people. And we're going to be the key speakers, Mike and I. I don't know if Mike wants to do public speaking, so I might be the key speaker, but we'll see. Like, I'm not sure Mike is, I know, you tell me in the comments, Mike, but I don't think he likes it. Anyway, so we're going to run the Autism Course, but it goes past that. So our idea, so by the way, Mike, who is Mike? Mike is the head and the owner of Divergent Fitness, formerly Special Fit. Mike has been a coach with me forever. He's on my mentoring program, but we met, I think, at the first Strongfit seminar.
And he's an amazing guy.
Oh, he's an amazing guy, but he's been there for the first Strongfit seminar. So we're talking like, I don't know what the fuck it was, like 8 years ago.
He's there since.
It's been there since the beginning. But Mike has a very interesting past. He was a therapist first. I'll let Mike in the comments explain exactly, but he was a therapist first. He's always been interested in anxiety. And then he had a gym that specialized in neurological disorders. I don't want to get caught up in names, but you get the idea. And so he's been working in the field for 20, 25 years. And he's one of the very few that understood from the beginning that movement had to be part of the solution and not pills and just things like that. So Mike has been on it forever. And then he has a gym where his whole gym is, the adaptive division, but more from a neurological perspective. So he deals with kids, actually not even kids, but people with autism from 5 to 55, literally. And he's been doing that his whole professional life. So really on the practical side of things, he's the most qualified person that I know to deal with this. And so me, obviously, I'm on the theoretical side. And one of my own athletes in that sense, right? Spectrum Life. So, by the way, so we probably have to start a company with Mike because I'm going to explain. We plan to go to expand on a lot of things. But so here's an idea. You guys remember the Spectre thing, right? What is that, like stuff for counterintelligence, for extortion, the Spectre from the Bond movie. So I'm going to call it Spectrum, and then I'm going to have the picture of my cat, of Kitty over there, and I'm going to pet it, and then that's going to be the new image for Instagram. I think it's hilarious, but anyway, I don't know, maybe it's autism humor, but I think it's hilarious. Anyway,
It fits you.
Exactly. We have the ATA stuff, so we would run that program with Mike. Obviously, Alec is in charge of it because there's a business aspect of it. And so let me explain to you a little bit what the idea is. On our side, for Mike and I, we want to be able to we want to do this because we want to explain two things. First of all, keep talking about autism as a function and not as a disability, although it can be, but the poison is in the dosage. Anything is a disability if you take it far enough. But we also really want to promote the fitness aspect of things. Like movement is a key to all this. And so that's what we want to promote. Now, the idea of the ATA of that course is to offer gym owners the capacity to offer training for autistic people. So movement training is one thing, but it's not only that. It's also the structure of the gym because stimulus is a very important part of that. So we're going to talk about this. The intake of people on the autism, because it's a spectrum. Autism doesn't mean anything. That's the problem. Because the DSM needed a term to be able to be more structured about how to talk about it. But by doing that, they gave it a term that is associated with a disease. So, and then it became so rigid that it's actually almost useless now. Because it's a function, not a disease. So what you're going to see is that some people are very much on the texture thing, other sounds, other the visual. There's so many things like that. So it would be good to have a type of help for gym owner to understand that side of things. What you could do to help so that people don't get overwhelmed in your gym, how to coach people on the spectrum one-on-one and everything, because you're going to have kids. You're going to have kids, but you're going to have adults also. And some adults are high functioning, so you would never necessarily know because they don't say it. But that doesn't mean that they have the best experience they can have at your gym because of the overwhelming feeling of X based on where they are, right? So I want to help both sides. We want to do like, what if you have, kids, boys, girls coming at a certain age with certain symptoms all the way to the adult, more like highly functioning type, so that they can have the best experience possible, because I believe that is the key. Yeah. I believe autistic people, so people on the spectrum, are actually afferent versus efferent athletes, and then this will come up as we talk more and more about this. Anyway, so that's our goal with Mike. That's why we want to work with the ATA, because there's also the business side of things. How do you generate a better business with that in order to offer more help? And then it goes on and on and on. So I like the theoretical, Mike likes the practical, and I don't really want to deal with all the other stuff, so I'm very, very happy that CrossFit would want to go that route, the ATA, because then they can help on all that stuff, which honestly, I don't want to do. So, yeah.
And it would be so cool that you guys, you and Mike, can make such a difference in autism.
Right, it's cool, and I'd be happy to work, I don't want to work for CrossFit, but I'd be very happy to work with CrossFit.
Yeah.
That I'm very interested, because, this is the waters with women.
Yes.
I've always been around CrossFit, right? You know me, I've always been in and out of CrossFit. There's always, fundamentally, I am one of the biggest defenders of CrossFit at the foundation of Greg Glassman. Maybe not his behavior, especially with women, but the genius of Greg Glassman cannot be denied. Which is weird, because even though he had a really bad behavior with women, he also is the one that has opened the most doors for fitness for women. Because we used to train women like men up until CrossFit, that is really has proven that a different way of training women is necessary. I think he's not the only one, but he proved it better than anybody else. So it's funny that he gave so much to women while treating them so poorly. It's funny how the world works, right? The world is never simple. It's never black or white, that's all. But anyway, so I'm very happy to work with them. We would have seminars as well. That's what we're talking about right now. So they'd be like that build certification, but we'd also do seminars about that. So that's on the CrossFit side. But then after that, with Mike, we also are looking to go a little bit past that. We want to have like a mentoring program, because at some point, the deeper you go toward the rabbit hole, the more experience you need to have. And so Mike has a gym where we could do Coaches Week, and you would be able to learn coaching directly with more difficult, not difficult clients that are difficult in a different way that you're used to. And then we could explain what the autism is and everything. So I think there's levels to this shit, as they say. And so the level one would be like, all right, so how do we create your gym, your space, so that it's, I'm not gonna say spectrum inclusive, because might as well shoot myself now. I will never use the word inclusive ever again in my life, so there you go. I will always choose another term than inclusive, because fuck all of you. Spectrum proof is much better. So we're gonna and again, the spectrum I'm gonna have a t-shirt that says spectrum and the cat.
I will make you that shirt.
And then I'm gonna go one further in a nerd, is the cat will be either alive, half dead.
What does that have to do with
Schrodinger's cat. Tell me that some of you got that joke, and if you don't, you can all burn in hell. Anyway, you should know the cat half alive. If you have watched enough of my podcast, you know what I'm talking about, and shame on you for not remembering that one, because I told you that one so many times.
You told me that?
Yeah, Schrodinger's cat. Oh my God, you are not a nerd.
I am not. I'm a normie. Great.
Exactly. I'm so disappointed.
I accept it.
I hope you guys get the joke. Anyway, so there's levels to this shit, and we need experience directly and everything. And Mike is the perfect guy and has the perfect setup for that. He has so much experience. And he has a gym designed for that, so it's awesome.
He's doing it.
Right, and so we've been talking about Mike, and people have reached out to him to actually create fitness professional that could help toward that kind of training. So that's kind of a long-term goal that we have with Mike, is to create a breed of fitness professionals that could deal with that. So the first step is the ATA and stuff like that. And again, I'm happy to work with CrossFit, because I mean CrossFit coaches, who are in many levels my favorite people, because they are by far the most open-minded.
They are.
They have usually obviously, their heart in the right place. They're very passionate and very open-minded. Yeah. So I've been in the world of CrossFit forever, because doesn't matter if you do strongman first or CrossFit or whatever, usually you find the same breed of people. And I think that breed of people is the best design to be able to push movement for the spectrum population. So let's be inclusive.
You're such a progressive guy.
Yes, exactly. If they knew me better, if they knew my life, they would just torch me put me to the wall and just set me on fire. I have a younger wife. I'm the older white man with a younger wife. I'm pretty sure I'm evil at this stage.
A mixed kid?
Yeah, exactly. Huh?
Mixed kid?
I do have a mixed kid. I guess that gives me some I don't think it gives me enough points there. I'm an older straight white man, first of all, so I'm evil. let's just say that. I'm on the 1% because I have my own business and I made it. So there's another evil. I have a younger wife. That's the third evil. I mean, so having a mixed kid, I think it just counts for almost nothing at this stage. I'm pretty sure I would be burned at the stake. And if you do my life, you definitely would. But I have a disability, I'm autistic, so maybe I can, you know what I mean? Maybe I can play it off. Yeah, exactly. Did you just insult me? I'm offended. Is that because I'm autistic? Because I used to say that because I'm French. So now I'm going to go like, is that because I'm autistic? Is that why you're saying it?
I don't know.
I'm offended.
I don't know if us making fun of it makes us already not progressive, you know what
I can make fun of myself. I'm not making fun of you, I'm making fun of me.
About it.
Yeah, but I can make fun of myself.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know the rules.
But I think that's the rules. If you're trans, you can talk about it. If you're black, you can say the N-word. If I'm autistic, I can make fun of the autistic population.
Okay.
Unless I'm a straight white man, so maybe...
I don't know, you're the evil already, so I don't think you can do anything correctly.
Right, but that's why I want to call it spectrum with the cat, because I'm the villain. I'm a Bond villain. I was born to be a Bond villain. I have the physical skills. I'm the strong man, like I have tattoos on my head, and I have a big cat. I was born to be a Bond villain. It's just finally I'm coming into my own. This is my destiny.
So maybe they're right in a way.
Totally. This is my destiny. Like the world has finally shaped itself around me so that I can be who I was always meant to be, a Bond villain.
You can finally be yourself.
Exactly. So I'm a Bond villain. There we go. I'm fine with that, honestly. That's my new identity. Can I identify as a Bond villain? That's who I identify as. What? What? I have the right to identify whatever I want. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, is that the world we live in?
I don't know.
Or am I confused? Anyway, to go back to the subject of the podcast, so this is what we plan to do with Mike, and then we'll have a mentoring program and stuff like that. And there's other stuff happening in the back that I won't mention, but that could be potentially very, very big toward that idea of developing a breed of fitness professional for the spectrum. So technically, I'm going to have my own army. I am the Bond villain.
You guys are going to make a huge difference.
So do you know like the Thib army? You know, like Thibodeau, he has his own army. Like I have to come up with a term. I'm gonna have my own army. You know, Tyler Durden. Is Tyler Durden building his army? You've seen the movie, Fight Club. You've seen the movie, right? So I'm gonna build an army. I'm gonna build an army of fitness trainers for autistic people. Like, I'm sure there's some type of way, Rick and Morty would agree with me. There's some type of way for world domination through that.
I would agree.
Like autism is winning as a function, in today's society. So I'm building my own army. My question is, do you want in? There we go. Right, so that's
you guys are going to make really a difference for a lot of people.
Yeah, I believe so. So that's the adjustment we wanted to make. So look up Mike on Instagram. He's on at Divergent Fitness. I don't know what his Instagram is, but Mike, put it in the comments so people can go. And then That big summit will be in December, so I will release more stuff about that, but we are going to work together with Mike and make a difference. And ATA and CrossFit, which is funny that I will end up working with CrossFit.
You're going to end up working with CrossFit.
As long as I don't work for CrossFit, I'm fine. I'll never work for anybody, but with people that I like, 100%. I've always worked with CJ from Invictus.
Yeah.
I'm starting to work with Jason with CrossFit Milford. Like, I don't mind. I would like to work with CrossFit, but again, with. It's a partnership. I don't work for people. But with, always. And then here I work with Jobst, who's the responsible for CrossFit for South America and everything. I'm always within CrossFit, always. Yeah. Like, people don't understand. I've been within CrossFit forever.
Yeah. Well, you love CrossFit also.
Yeah, always. Like, not that I do it, but I still think it's the best training system for women. After that, we can talk about competitions, like the games versus the local competition and which one is better. I believe that the best thing for CrossFit is local competition, but that the games can be harmful because it sets the wrong expectation for people as to what they can accomplish, and it puts gym owners into a difficult position.
Yeah. Do you want to
I think local competitions are great.
Talking about local competitions.
Oh yeah, we're organizing one in February here in Brazil. So
Brazil.
Brazil.
You guys want to do an epic?
So I'm doing it with Jobst and Adri, his wife, and then what we're going to have is a mix CrossFit Strongfit. So he's the one who programmed for the semi-final here in Brazil.
Yeah, for the Copa Sul.
For the Copa Sul, like, so that he did the programming for that. So he had some very, very good workouts. So we're going to have some CrossFit workout and some Strongfit workout and mix the two. And we're going to organize a competition. So it'll be called a CrossFit competition, obviously, because people have no clue what Strongfit is here. And then we'll do that most likely 3 times a year, maybe more. And then over time, I even want to do like a powerlifting competition or a strongman competition associated with it and everything. So
the first one is going to be 11 and 12 of February. So if you guys...
Oh, it's already, we have the dates. So 11 and 12 of February, there you go.
If you guys want to come over to Brazil to do a cool competition,
Strongfit Games.
Welcome. But it's going to be very local and...
Yeah, it's for the local community. I believe this, it will do a bunch of stuff. It will help, it's good for the community because people enjoy local competitions. And I think it'll be very good for the coaches because it will allow them to train harder in order to prepare for something, which the more I do this job, the more I talk to coaches and everything, the more I realize the local competition are key. Not the big one.
Something to aim for and to work towards.
Right, but that is not too big either.
No,
for example, like wrestling is great in the US. Why? Because they have high school, college. You're not going to make the Olympics, chances are. But it doesn't matter. It's the local competition. I saw that with Jiu-Jitsu a lot. You're not going to go to ADCC, but the local competition at the local high school and stuff like that, where you can go compete and not just get absolutely destroyed by a world champion, where you can just progress, those are fun. Yeah. Not everybody has a discipline or the time or the will to try to make it to the big leagues. But that in between, because honestly, the success you have is proportional to the amount of time and energy you can put into. Obviously, talent is a big thing, but after that, it's just, are you going to sacrifice your life toward that thing? Most people will not. They have families, jobs, other stuff to do. Even me, like there's certain things I will not do for strongmen, like because I don't have the time nor the desire to sacrifice certain things for it. Right, so that always going to hold. That means I'm not going to go past a certain level. So a local strongman competition is great. Trying to make it to pro or to the world class 105 kilos, hell no. First of all, I'm too old for it, and it's not going to happen. Even if I had the talent, I'm just not going to do that. So I think we are in need of local competitions for the local community to, what I love here in Brazil is that energy that they have, like that. It was the same energy early on in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. And back then there was local competition every 2 weeks, if not every week. And everybody would go there, so they would train. They literally would compete twice a month, but it kept the energy going and the people going. When you take it too far, obviously it's a problem, but I believe there's a balance.
And honestly, if any of you have the chance to come to Brazil, you need to see a Brazilian CrossFit competition. It is the most amazing thing ever.
If you like lots of energy in one place, yes, you should definitely come see that in Brazil. It's very dramatic.
They're beautiful people. And it's going to be
very dramatic. Very passionate.
Passionate.
Yeah, very passionate people.
Don't talk with negative words.
I wasn't. I'm being inclusive. I meant very passionate.
But we're going to organize it all. Adri and Jobs are doing more the organization, and we're going to do together with them organize.
And then we'll have like challenges and we're going to try to make it a spectator's experience. Like, so it's a competition, but
organizing competition.
Right, but do you guys remember it's like the early CrossFit Games at the Home Depot Center? The Vendors Village was the coolest thing. Like, you go see the workout, but then half the time you're at Vendors Village trying stuff, listening to lectures, doing the challenges. That's what we want to do. We want to recreate maybe not a Wadapalooza, because it won't be that size, but you get the idea. That's the idea we have. Then a party at the end of the Saturday, because this is Brazil, so we want to do Wadapalooza basically in a smaller way, obviously.
And it's going to be good for the community around here.
I think it'll be great. So that's why we like to do it, if possible, like 3 times a year, because I think it's needed to keep the community and the coaches for me, I see it from the coaches' perspective. If they have 3 competitions a year plus a few small ones, it will keep them training hard. And I think this is necessary. The more I do this, the more I realize it is necessary for people to have some type of competition as a goal for training hard. Most people cannot train hard without a goal.
And Adri and Job see that really much also in the gyms around here. Once they mentioned that there was a kind of competition coming, that we were trained hard and is it going to be for everybody?
But that's the key for everybody. So I think that's why the games sometimes are a touchy subject, because they can hurt the local affiliates because of the expectations. But if you can have more local ones, I remember the day when we had the sectionals for South California. SoCal in San Diego, and this was the most fun I've ever had at a competition, because it's all local people. It's LA, San Diego, and then around, and they all come to a place, so the same. It's the people but they're from your area, and it was really, really, really cool. Yeah. And I think that's very necessary. So I was not necessarily for that many competition, but I'm kind of changing my mind on it toward local ones, because I believe, again, most coaches cannot keep training hard without a goal in mind. And by that means a competition. Yeah. It's not sustainable. I like training hard just to train hard, but that's not often, let's put it this way. So,
I understand that. I understand it completely.
Yeah, I don't, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be something I understand. It just has to be something that exists. And I think for most people it's necessary, so therefore we should do something for that. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. So this is Strongfit for this year. It's going to be a lot of that. And then obviously I'm going to keep doing my stuff with the templates and my own programming and showing you that the shit that I do works. But this is really what I wanted to talk about. We've been working on that for a while. And finally it's coming. So for us, it's 2 things. There's the autism side on one thing, and then there's us taking over Brazil with Jobs and Adri. Because that's the goal too.
As Job said, we're going to take over the world.
And by that we mean Brazil. And then, honestly, the competitions are only step 1. I have more that I want to do in Brazil, and I want to start an entire system here. We want to take over Brazil and show that there is a way to make Strongfit and CrossFit work together in a very efficient way. So this is also what I'm going to push toward. Well, I don't know where that will go, but I'm going to push toward that. Because there is a leadership that is needed. I'm not going to be the leadership for CrossFit, obviously, but there is in movement. There's a certain amount of leadership that we lost, I believe, in the last few years within the community of CrossFit, not CrossFit HQ, within the community of CrossFit. And I think we need some people to step up. I'd much rather someone else would be doing it, because I suck at those things. But no one, it's not my thing.
Thank God we have Adrian Jobs.
Yeah, no, but what I mean is that there's a sense of leadership that is needed.
Yeah.
And I don't mean first of all, yes, I want to create my own army, so thank you. I can't be a Bond villain if you don't all join into my dictatorship. But on top of it, what I mean by leadership is we have to push movement towards something. That's what Greg Glassman was doing. He was all right, we need to measure, we need to do those things. Right. So now we need to keep pushing movement towards something. Otherwise, it's going to end up with what bodybuilding is people that go to the gym, they're not exactly sure why they do what they do, but they just want to look better. We can do better than that. So leadership is needed. And it won't be just me, but I'll do what I can toward that, and hopefully other better, smarter people than me will take it even further.
Yeah. I think also the pandemic got to give a big hit to the fitness community in general.
Yes, it did. And I think it put people in freeze, and we need to get out of that freeze. And the only way we get out of that freeze is to have some people with enough nuts to go forward, say, follow me into battle, and then we move the stuff forward. And like, we need to go back talking about obesity and how much of a problem it is, people getting fatter, eating bad stuff. Diabetes is through the roof as much as obesity in the US because of the pandemic that did even more harm. But they're not going to talk about it. And by that I mean the media and everything. They will not talk about that because that would be admitting that they were wrong on certain things. So it's not going to happen. So we need some of us to just go forward, charging into the front and taking action so that more people can get out of freeze and follow. Follow where? Who knows? Does it matter? I don't think it even matters where we are going toward. It just means we just need to start taking action, to pushing the stuff and getting that desire back to train and make a difference in this world. Which is why I've always loved CrossFit coaches. They always had that idea of making a difference in the world. All right, well, let's do that then. And so I'll do my part. I'll try the autism stuff. I'll do local competition in Brazil. I will do what I can, and hopefully, again, better and smarter people than me will do their part and push everything forward even more. But I will do my part. That I can promise. Thank you, everybody.